shortly. So we can jump into Big Ten basketball shortly, briefly. Most teams have played 3 games. Let me pull up the standings. Or they're going to be playing 3 games shortly. Let's see. Some teams are playing tonight. And it's been pretty weird. Let's see here.
Everyone's kind of kicking each other's ass.
Which it's exactly kind of what I thought would happen, but there's been some teams that are getting their butts kicked that it's kind of surprising. So
played 4.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess it is a little bit. Michigan's only played 2, but anyway, right now there's 2 undefeated teams in the conference: Michigan and Northwestern, which is incredible.
We're a basketball school, boys.
A different team this year, but we'll see where they're still projected per KenPom to finish like 11-9 or 10-10 in the conference, which tells you they're 3-0 right now and projected to finish 500. So that's kind of crazy. The big surprise, I would say, is easily Michigan State at 0-3. And not only
a negative surprise, a good positive surprise. I'd probably put Minnesota in the positive surprise.
Minnesota and Northwestern in the positive surprises for sure.
Minnesota's 9-1. Obviously, they're 2-1 in the Big Ten,
but there's been so many upsets, just surprises. Okay, last night Maryland beats Wisconsin, right? And then Michigan State gets completely ran out of the gym against Minnesota and loses by 25. Not expected. I mean, Iowa lost. It's just one of those things. Iowa, this is exactly what I thought would happen with Iowa, right? So Iowa can score 100 points a game, but they could not defend a fish on the basketball court right now. They are so bad at defense. It hurts to watch. So, I mean, I don't know. It's just been really interesting. I don't know if you guys have paid a whole lot of attention to it, but the league is definitely going to beat themselves up this year. So I wouldn't be surprised if the league champions, 13-5. I really don't see a team getting better than 14-4.
But it's because I don't think it's because they're all like mediocre. I think there's a lot of talent.
There's too much talent. And this crazy thing is
the worst team is Nebraska at 4-5. Like that's crazy. And all of the 14 of the Big Ten teams, Nebraska's 4-5.
Yep, and they're pretty bad.
And Penn State 3-3, but they played like several games less than everyone else.
Right. Yep.
Well, I don't know. I look at it and I would like to look into it more. Maybe it can shed some insight, but I don't know how these teams are prepping. Like it's got to be different than most years, like with COVID and everything, just how you're able to practice, how often, how close you're able to be, like how many, maybe some of these schools are putting limits on like full contact in practice and how long they can do that. And
they're the only, along with other athletes, they're the only people on campus. Like students are home, like they're gone.
So, I just think everyone said it. So not just to be like, oh, it's a weird year, so everything's weird. But I mean, just the preparation for these games and the preparation for your opponents is just different than it's ever been.
Yeah.
So
I think the coaches that have been at schools for a really long time. So like the Tom Izzo's, Iowa's coach, Fran McCaffrey's been there for a long time. Some of those coaches that have just been kind of ingrained in their programs for a while, I think some of them are struggling. You look at around the country, Duke sucks. Kentucky's horrendous. Some of those teams that are, traditional powers are struggling this year, partially because I think they're relying, the Dukes and Kentuckys of the world rely on freshmen so much, and they have no idea what's going on right now, the freshmen.
Right.
And then in Michigan State's case, I certainly thought they were going to be better. Watching them play, they play some ugly basketball right now, but watching them play, I think, like you said, kind of Isaiah, I don't think Izzo he doesn't quite know what to make of this team right now, because I think, everything's kind of thrown off. And he's trying to play 12 guys right now, because I don't think he has any idea who his best, 7 or 8 are. And it's causing them problems, and they've got to kind of get that fixed. And I know I picked them to win the Big Ten. I would love to go back on my pick right now, because I'm not sure starting 0-3 is. KenPom right now projects them to finish 7-13 in the Big Ten and 13-13 overall.
Wow.
Which would not make the NCAA tournament doing that.
No, it would be NIT.
And Tom Izzo has never finished below 500 in the Big Ten. and they've made the NCAA tournament something like 25 years in a row, 26 years in a row, or something crazy.
Right. Yeah,
So-
but they just can't shoot. Like their shooting is
Tremendous offensive team.
terrible.
Very hot and cold. Rocket Watts included.
Market Watts is one of the most like
Inconsistent.
it's so bad to watch sometimes, and then sometimes you're like, man, that guy can't be guarded. I mean, it's just one of the things that I can't really put my finger on it. They have no point guard. I mean, they're trying to play Watts at point guard, and he's not really a point guard. And then then they'll throw Foster Loyer out there, who's a glorified Division III basketball player, and they have no 5-man. They're trying to put 4 or 5 different guys at 5.
Hauser's been really the only one that's put up like
But Hauser's really a stretch 4. He can't defend the 5 at all, and he can't rebound. So, and the Big Ten has a bunch of like traditional back to the basket 5s this year, and State's going to struggle if they try to throw Hauser at the 5. I mean, he's just going to get destroyed. Now he might be able to do his own damage on offense, but I don't know. They just have a lot of problems right now, and I thought they were going to be better. And I thought, teams like Northwestern and Minnesota were worse. Marcus Carr's a beast at Minnesota. And Boo Buie for Northwestern is pretty insane. He's had multiple 30-point games in the Big Ten. So,
Yeah. And that Northwestern Michigan game this weekend should be a good one.
Yeah, I think that is going to be the first game. I don't know. Maryland obviously beat Wisconsin last night, but I think that'll be the first game as far as Michigan goes that we really see them possibly get against a team that is legitimately a really good team.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It'll be interesting. Obviously it's early. Once we get past this New Year's holiday, it's really going to kick into gear. But a lot of really good teams that are just going to beat each other up. So we could probably jump back into it at some point. Maybe midway through and kind of see where it's at. But it's been interesting so far. And if midway through Michigan State is still looking like this, then yeah, I don't know. I obviously
look like a real dope.
Look like an idiot, which I already feel like one for picking them. But I tried to go with the traditional power there, and that just didn't work. So
yeah, I feel it. I keep saying every year Drew Brees and Tom Brady are going to decline, and sometimes I keep eating my words, and sometimes I'm right.
Where are you, Max Kellerman?
I am Max Kellerman.
He's too old. There's no way. Watch Brady.
He's my age, and I can't throw a football.
Brady's gonna play when he's 50. Watch, he's gonna keep playing till he's 50. Everybody's gonna have the TB12 method on their bookshelf soon.
Probably.
Yeah.
If the first chapter is how to get a wife like that, right?
I mean, well,